and welcome to Starcast.
Let's start it off with a quick recap of what's been going on in the Galaxy as of late.
On February 8th, in Fort Dodge, Andrew Pham qualified for the 100 butterfly, 50 freestyle, and was runner-up in the district meet in both events. He was one of 5 other boys from the Metro swimming team to earn a spot at state on the 15th in Marshalltown, where the swim team improved all but one of Sioux City Metro's scores. Good work, swimmers. On Valentine's Day, our boys basketball team created some major star power at East, winning 76-67, breaking East's winning streak and gaining an MRAC title. North also battled the South Sioux City Cardinals on the 17th, where Dan Tillo led the team with 24 points to a 76-56 victory. One of our star players, Matt Bennett, signed a contract to extend his basketball career and education at Morningside College. There's a lot of congratulating going on at North this week. Our Jazz Band 1 crushed their competition at Districts on the 17th, earning a first place and a qualification to take on more competitors at the Jazz State competition on April 8th.
Another congrats to our wrestling team. Great job at Southeast Polk wrestlers. Connor Coyle and Dion Claiborne qualified to wrestle at the state tournament last Thursday through Saturday. Connor wrestling at a weight class of 145 and Dion at 152. Congrats, guys. And on the 22nd, our girls basketball team competed at Districts and our boys on the 24th and the 28th.
Last show, John checked out Cabaret. This week, he was all about Jazz Band. Here he is, John Carr.
Here I am outside the band room where students of every grade practice for Jazz Band. I'm going to take a look inside. North High Jazz 1, an audition-based band composed of saxophones, trombones, trumpets, and a full rhythm section, has been practicing together since early November. Every day, students come in before school to perfect the music that will be performed at competitions and concerts. 4-year member Nick Marino shared his morning experience with me.
I usually wake up around 5:30 every day, get here around 6:15. I know waking up early and I want to kill myself for being in jazz band, but I love it. It's what I do. It's what I love to do.
The Jazz Band recently kicked off their competition season at the Morningside Jazz Festival on February 8th with a first place win, and on Monday, February 17th at Districts with a landslide first place qualifying them for state. This marks the 29th consecutive year North High Jazz 1 has gone to state. The band takes the stage next on the 25th at WIT, as well as other competitions later in the month, to prepare for the state competition on April 8th. Good luck at state, North High Jazz 1. This is John Carr for Starcast.
Thanks, John. Lucky for all of us students, ITEDs are coming up.
Here's G-Baby with more on the exams.
Every year, our freshmen, sophomores, and juniors take the Iowa assessments, also known as the ITEDs. Even though our students dread taking the tests, they are actually very beneficial in determining what classes you take your next years in high school. Our very own principal, Mr. Dumkrager, talks more about them.
How important are the ITEDs?
The Iowa assessments are very important to all the schools. That's how we get measured and compared to other schools in the state and the nation. So when people look at North High School, one of the things they look at are their Iowa assessment scores. And they compare that to East, they compare that to West, and Heelan, and Sergeant Bluff, Hinton, and Lawton Bronson, all the area schools.
Do colleges consider the Iowa assessments?
You know, right now, Iowa assessments aren't used. Colleges don't look at them. So how it does affect students in college is how the Iowa assessments do benefit students' grades. So that the 7.5% increase for the Iowa assessment, how it affects students' high school grades.
Do you have any tips or any suggestions for students getting prepared for the ITEDs?
The best way, they always say, to get prepared is to have a good night's sleep, to have a good breakfast in the morning. But the best way really is your mindset, the way you think when you come in and take the test. You're going to go in, you're going to have a reading test. It's going to be 40 minutes long, and what you have to just say, this test is going to be 40 minutes long. I'm going to focus, I'm going to kick this thing's butt, and I'm going to do the best I possibly can.
Dr. Gosman also gave us some insight.
In recent years, has our district made progress on the tests?
Yeah, we're really proud of the growth that we've had in a number of areas. Some of the highest priority areas that we look at are the ACT test, which is separate from this, what you're asking me about today. That's a college preparatory test. We look at graduation rate and dropout rate, and we look at our performance on the Iowa assessments. And we've had some real strong gains in performance on the ACT. We've definitely had strong gains in graduation rate.
What does it mean to be proficient on the test?
Proficiency is a name or a category that's given to students who score at a certain level. And we certainly want our students to be proficient or above. You know, there's the different categories the federal government would indicate your performance is either below basic, or it's proficient, or it's in excess of proficiency. Advanced might be the term that they use. And so, you know, a lot of our reporting that comes back to us from the state, the way they score the school, the way they rate the different schools in the state, have to do with, and frankly, even some of the federal funding that we receive comes to us based on what percentage of our students are proficient. And so that's why we're always talking about proficiency on the test and always doing all that we can to make certain that our students can achieve that level of proficiency.
Well, there you have it. These tests are right around the corner and they're coming in hot. Let's try our best to get the highest scores in the district. This was Gabriel Barrera reporting for Starcast.
One of North's talented artists has decided to share some of her work with the rest of us. Here's Sandra with more on this story.
North High student Hayley McClure has made a business of selling her artwork. She does everything from colored pencils to acrylic pieces. According to McClure, prices vary from the style of artwork.
When people purchase commissions on acrylic paintings, I have a base price of $50 just because paint's expensive, and then I only charge them how much the canvas is.
For cheaper prices, you could purchase watercolor pieces for $25 or colored pencil pieces for $30. To contact her, you can message her through facebook.com/Hayley McClure Art.
Well, that's it for this broadcast of Starcast. Thanks for watching.
And keep it real, North High.